This is the Aces Up Your Sleeve podcast, and we're the Aces Up Your Sleeve in relationships, from romantic to workplace, parental to platonic, your relationship with yourself, and everything in between. Let us, two autistic, aspect, kinky therapists, be your secret weapon in neurodivergent life.
And here's your disclaimer. This is not therapy or therapeutic advice, and we're not on the clock. What you'll hear are our thoughts on different topics, what we might do in your shoes, and how we've supported others through similar situations.
Hello and welcome to the Aces Up Your Sleeve podcast. I'm your host, Cade.
And I'm your host, Sabrina.
And today we're talking about summer because summer weather is kicking in all around us. And
Gross.
Yeah, I know.
I hate it. I don't want it.
Sweating is the bane of my existence. So if I can avoid sweating.
That's the idea. But also, like, in North Carolina, I have to start breathing soup. And I don't want to breathe soup. I want to breathe air.
The humidity is just, I don't know how you handle that.
It's really, really bad. It's, just thinking about it is making me a little, like, uncomfortably hot.
Oh, no. Well, we didn't get asked specifically about humidity, but maybe when we're just sharing general tips, you can talk about how you navigate that, because I know some of our listeners will be experiencing that soon if they aren't already.
Yeah, exactly.
We got asked first about heat sensitivity. So it says, how do I deal with heat sensitivity? I'm on some meds that make it even worse. It's sensory hell.
God. Yeah, I also have a lot of heat sensitivity. Really anything above 70 starts feeling pretty intolerable to me pretty quickly. And so, I feel you. The number one thing that actually helped me a lot last year, even as I was like, when I went to Scotland, there was like a weird heat like thing. Like, Scotland's not usually known for its heat, but it was somehow super hot in Scotland. When I went to Greece, it was super hot. What really helped me a lot was low fan, which I wish I had down here with me. But it's this like little battery powered fan. And I would keep him, and I would keep a charging cable that worked for him, and like a little battery pack, and would keep me going all day. Just it's not like a click fan, like a clack fan that like opens and you have to, it's a little battery power or a like motorized fan. It has a little base, so I could sit him on a table and just have him point at me. And like, it was the most helpful thing that I have ever found. Period.
Yeah, that sounds really handy. Was it loud or pretty quiet?
No, it's pretty quiet.
Nice.
It's like, I'll post a picture on our Instagram.
That'd be good.
Or maybe like a little video of him. But like, I even have him sometimes running in the summer when I'm like in my house, like with the air conditioning, like during sessions, and my clients can't hear it or anything.
We should have you find the brand name so that we can get that in the show notes before we post this. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I will definitely try. It's like almost certainly from Five Below. Like, I have definitely rubbed the name off. But we can certainly try. I also like, I have tower fans. So like in my in-person office, there's like a little short kind of tower fan. I will sometimes bring it down here when I need to. I also have one just on my bedside table. It just points at my face to help, even though like we have our air conditioning turned down to 65 and my overhead fan going. Sometimes just that extra blast of cold is really, really helpful. All the fans, every fan that you can fan, every fan. And that's the name of this episode, is every fan you can fan.
Truly. Start your own EveryFans by getting as many fans as possible. I'm a big fan of that too. And AC, please God, let me be in a building with AC. There's this little place I like to visit over in Montana, and the house that we borrow when we go has no air conditioning. It also gets quite hot in the summer there. You can open the windows, but that only does so much, and there's only so much shade. So in the last couple of years, my heat sensitivity and intolerance has gotten so bad because of POTS that if it's 80 or more there, I can't go because the buildings just trap the heat.
Yeah.
So
no, I am really glad. So my friends went to Spain a couple years ago in the summer, and that was hot as fuck apparently, and like those buildings are not built for it's just yeah, as much AC as possible. I actually will say, like, I like being inside, like in like public spaces inside more in the summer than in the winter, because in the winter they crank the heat up because they're thinking like, oh, it's cold out, so everyone needs to keep warm. But I'm like, but I wore all my warm things here because it's cold out. Now I'm overheating inside. But in the summer they usually have some kind of air conditioning. I usually don't find it quite enough for me, which is why I like to carry my low fan.
Yeah, that's so true though. In the winter everything indoors is so hot, but you also don't necessarily want to be outdoors for prolonged periods of time. But then in the summer, to get to the places with air conditioning, you have to go through the heat. I think my big tip for dealing with heat sensitivity is planning around it. So now my vacation, if I'm gonna go to Montana, I ask to use it when it's like use the building when it's still pretty cold, pretty rainy. No one else really wants to be there anyway, but I'm happy to go be there because I get to enjoy the scenery, wildlife stuff without all the heat.
Yeah. Definitely. I know they also make, and some of my friends really enjoy, they're like these, it's like a tube of like silicone and it freezes, but it freezes really quickly. And like, you don't necessarily have to have a freezer, even like cool water will like work. Okay. I don't really know how it works. But you kind of, the goal is to like sit it around your neck. I will also sometimes just sit it underneath my boobs because that shit gets real hot real quick, and then you're just have a like it cools down a hot part of you. I will also say, like, so your feet and your head are the areas to focus on, right? And so for me, like with my hair, which is still partially damp right now, and so it like looks smaller than it is, there will be times when like even just taking it and like lifting it up off of like my neck and the sides of my face will cool me down 5 to 10 degrees.
Yeah, and I know they make some of those submergible, like what is it called? Essentially like that silicone tube, except instead of having something in there that freezes super fast, it's got something else in there that absorbs water and holds onto it, and you like submerge that in water, put it in your freezer, nice and frozen, put it around the back of your neck under your hair, and that can help too, if you don't mind getting damp as it melts.
That's what I have a hard time with, is I don't like being partially wet, A. B, usually I don't want a lot of extra water on my hair that I didn't intentionally place there, because it will just do weird things. But those can be really helpful. Or even like the cool blankets or like cool towels that you like get damp and then they stay cool longer. What's really hard for me is I don't like mint, but a lot of the cooling things are mint. So one time I was going camping, my friend sprayed me with this cooling spray she had, but it was like mint scented. Like it had like mint or menthol-y stuff in it to like keep you cool. And I was like, I just need you to get it off of me. Like I can't engage with this or breathe. But if you don't hate the scent of mint,
that can be a good option.
It's hard to like balance the like, there's so many different sensory things that you have to be taking into account, which I think is one of those things that like when we talk about neurotypicals, right, is like it's just not having to do that math. It's oh, I'm hot, I'm gonna stick my head in this thing of water and then like swish my hair around and be fine. And I'm like, no, if my hair, I'm so uncomfortable with the fact that my hair has been wet since whenever I washed it this morning, and it like probably won't fully dry until like right before I go to bed tonight. It's one of my least favorite things about washing my hair.
No, I'm with you. I can't do wet hair on, like, especially on my face when I had longer hair. No. No. Yeah.
Exactly. So a lot of it is kind of like finding those balances of like, how can I get cool and still watch my other sensory needs? And so like, again, I find the fan can be most helpful with that. I own exactly one long sleeve like top. I always wear shoes that I can take off. I take off my shoes almost instantly wherever I go, because again, I'm trying to get the heat to allow like out of my body. I just find it more helpful.
That's a good tip, yeah, because if anybody's listening who likes a good open-toed shoe or a sandal, like those are very handy to keep the heat moving. Yeah,
I was just gonna say, and then like taking them off. Like there is a difference
yeah,
between wearing an open toed shoe and like not having a shoe on your foot at all. And especially if you can get
yeah.
your foot elevated a little, so there's airflow underneath that pad of your foot. That's really, I have found that very helpful.
I was gonna say it almost depends on how much money you want to pour into your heat sensitivity, because of course we're talking about maybe being indoors or outdoors and doing something during the day, but at night, if you want to get those cooling mattress toppers and the cooling pillow
Mm,
and there's so many other things you could do. Sabrina mentioned like a ceiling fan at night. There are lots of things you could spend money on to reduce your heat intolerance in different environments. It just depends on what resources you have and what is feasible.
yeah. I also think like one thing, if you already have, if you're like in my house, I can be okay, but when I go out, whatever. Um,
Yeah,
you know, some of my friends a couple years ago, so I've got a group of friends who are like pretty big campers, like multiple camping trips a year, like big events with everybody, all the stuff. And a couple years ago, one of them was having like a medical thing and it was just not going to work. And several of us have some heat intolerant stuff. And so what we did was we just had a stay at home hangout with a bunch of us who like were willing to. And we like had ice cream and icicles and fans
nice.
and like intentionally cold things because the event that happens that everyone goes to is in like June or July. And we were like, no, thank you. That sounds awful.
Yeah. In like July-ish time frame, what's the temperature like down there?
I mean, there are multiple weeks that it'll hit 100.
Oh, yeah.
Like we've had like full week of like 100
That's like a
into like the double
humid,
digits of 100. It's bad.
and that's like a
Yeah.
humid, yeah, yikes. We get a dry heat, but it will go up to like 115, which is
Hmm.
also not fun, but at least you're not damp. All the
No, we'll hit
the sweat wicks
115
off of
with
you.
like 80% humidity.
Oh,
Um it'll be raining and like
oh my
overly hot
gosh.
and it really makes you reconsider. Like I will live and die in the South. I love the South. Like this is where all the black people are. I'm good down here. It's not. But like um but man, does it really make me rethink sometimes. Like the most I get to missing Wisconsin is when like, I like am missing my actual family and then when I'm missing the fucking reasonable goddamn temperature.
Yeah, like drenched in sweat plus rain. That's
Oh
wild.
my god, it's so bad. Um yeah, so it's a lot of also like sticking with shade, but also like talking to your friends and just being like, "Hey, I'm super heat sensitive. I'm really not planning to leave the inside of my house until it is X amount dark outside or Y
Truly.
temperature.
Yeah.
So want to come over?"
Yeah, and maybe if they all go to the hot event and you stay in, they could bring you some photos or some video from it or a souvenir. It sucks to have to miss out on it, but when we put our health up against, like, that's the
Yeah.
risk we're taking. Yeah, it's
I'll
tough.
also just say like relationally, like um so for a good long while, I had a car that the AC didn't work.
Oh,
Hell on
that's
earth.
hard. Yeah.
So bad. It was a little black 2007 Honda.
Please tell
No
me it didn't
AC.
have leather seats, because that would just make that 10 times
It
worse.
didn't, but it had black fabric seats.
Oh, that's still hard. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
Um and I loved her. She was a great car, but oh my god, the fucking heat. And so a lot of times it would just have to be like, "Hey, I'm coming in hot. I'm going to need like 20 minutes in like standing in front of the closest fan I can put my body in front of."
Yeah.
I will probably like change clothes. Like the amount of times that I would just bring a change of clothes with me to whatever event I was going to, so I could wear like a tank top and some like ugly bike shorts or something in the car and then get changed into something cooler. Not low. That
Yeah.
was really really all I could do, you know.
It stinks that we are more prone to heat sensitivity as autistic folks with our sensory processing differences. And we're more prone to executive functioning challenges, and yet the way to avoid and mitigate all of this requires pre-planning and organization and structure, and oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I feel
I
for
think
everybody.
people are starting to take it more seriously, which I appreciate. Like, there's that whole debate of like, oh, like, it's people get really frustrated, but like my comment is always like, it is way easier for you to warm up than it is for me to cool down. Like,
Yeah,
my
true.
body's like cool down is broken. First of all, like it can raise temperature really easily, but it takes a really long time for me to cool back down. Um, and I get that some bodies are the other way, where they will like cool really quickly, but they heat very slowly. I get that. My point is though that it's way easier to wear lots of layers and to get heating pads and this and that than it is like I can only take off so many clothes, especially as a fat black woman. The like line of what people will put up with me wearing in professional context, even just like in public on the regular, like exists. And so it is also frustrating because it's like it's all that extra planning, but it's also like, am I gonna get looks if I wear a crop top? And like I haven't thought about that in a long time, but like I will get looks. And it's something that I had to like teach myself to get over because like it's too hot to wear a full shirt in the summer in North Carolina.
It's horrible that the perception others would have impacts how comfortable we can be or whether or not we get sick, because for heat intolerance you can get very sick.
Oh my god, I get such bad migraines.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think I was talking to you yesterday, as my partner and I were cleaning and changing around the office, right? And they did the like bulk majority because they have a physical like
Abilities.
abilities that I don't have, right?
Yeah.
And but we had also like we forgot to turn the AC on down here. This is a room that has like a third of the wall over there is a sliding glass door. And we were like moving around and like, man, at one point I was like, oh my God, I'm like dizzy and headachy and starting to get mean. Okay, I need to drink some water. We need to turn the AC on. I need to get my low fan. I need to like get my shit together. There's like real serious consequences. It's not just a matter of like, I don't like being hot.
Right. No, the dizziness and the grumpiness, yeah, that resonates with me for sure. And with this question asker saying, like, I'm on some meds that make it even worse, the hydration piece you're talking about, the popsicles, snow cones, water, ice, whatever you've got to do to stay cool is really important because those meds are working on that internal level too to dry you out and dehydrate you.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I really try very hard to like always have a water bottle with me. When I can, like so I have like this plastic one. The metal ones are a little much for me because of the sound, like when they fall and when they like and so I usually use plastic ones. And so what I usually do is if I'm going like outside, I will fill it all the way up with ice and then put water in. And it won't be it won't be quite enough water, but the ice will melt and it will stay cooler longer. And that helps a little bit with some of that.
Smart, yeah. Do you have, I know we were talking maybe some top tips about humidity. You mentioned bringing a change of clothes, getting right in front of that fan as soon as possible. My partner's a big fan of powder, just powder everywhere to like absorb.
Yeah. I've been trying, completely not sponsored, but could be if they would want to. I've been trying Carpe recently because I sweat a lot and I really hate the sensation of sweating. Like, again, being partially damp is like not my vibes. And I've liked it so far, like that I've tried. Literally, I just tried, like, I started it a couple weeks ago or something, but I've liked that so far. I do think that, like, for a long time, I had it in my head of like, antiperspirants are the devil, like it's really really bad for you, this and that. And I kind of talked to a nurse friend of mine and like that there's just some differences and that like it's not as black and white, shocker. And so I've been trying that. I do think that like powder when you can. I actually also last summer I found the cooling, again not sponsored, but the cooling like bike shorts from Thigh Society actually did kind of keep me cool. They rolled down some, which they claim that they don't, but apple shape most things roll down on me. I find that, like, as much as, again, it's back to like bye, there are some things that are built to help cool, which I find intermittently helpful.
Yeah, that's good to know that that you found a brand that actually works, because I know I've tried brands where no.
Yeah.
Especially moisture wicking, like that only gets you so far if it's humid outside, because you're it's water in and out.
I actually like find moisture wicking, like, I haven't used it in some time, but like the last time that I have used it, I find it almost even worse. Like, I go for a lot of like cotton when I can, or
the
like
texture.
Yeah, just it's not actually helpful. And so I do think a lot about like what material my clothes are made of. So I have some clothes that are like fall, winter, spring clothes. I'm thinking of like this dress that I have, and I have 2 skirts that are all made out of the same. It's like, how do I describe it? Like it would make a sound if you rubbed it together, like, you know what I'm talking about?
Okay, yeah.
And so it's not great summer because it doesn't like let a lot of heat out. But I find it to be okay for like less super hot days.
Nice. Yeah, that's one of those planning things again, making sure your fabric matches the season, which not only is that planning, but also resources. Can you afford to change out the fabrics? Yeah.
Oh, I will say I don't really change out the fabrics. I just try to minimize how many of them I buy. Like, I'm very intentional on the upfront. And so instead of like, I default to, I will be cool in this because I know I can heat up if I need to.
Yeah.
Like, even if it's super cold, like I can put a sweatshirt on, and usually because of my heat sensitivity, that will warm me up plenty. Very few scenarios do I need like a sweatshirt and something, or like putting on socks will usually warm me up 10 degrees. Like that, because I'm more sensitive to heat, I go for things that inherently are cooler. Smart. And I only have like 2 or 3 pieces that I'm like, that is not the perfect temperature piece for me. And like, fine, I'll wear it in one of these other seasons. Like, everyone else will look at me weird because I'm wearing a skirt that's above my knee in December, and it's covered in flowers. And I don't care. That's the temperature that I can wear this outfit.
Yeah, if it's making you comfortable and keeps you comfortable, great.
Yeah, but I definitely don't like, I don't have like, here's my spring wardrobe and here's my, like, that is more money and time and effort, especially because like it's already hard to like get my laundry up in a way. No. So I default to, could I wear this in the summer? And if no, then I actually usually just don't buy it.
That's smart, because you can always layer up. It's hard to de-layer. Okay. How do you feel about umbrellas? I know some people use that to at least reduce UV exposure.
I don't use them a lot. I have a hard time carrying extra things. Yeah. And especially now that I have my cane that I try to carry, like, that's already kind of a pain in my ass, and I don't like to have to carry it. But I need it. And so, yeah, having like a cane in one hand and an umbrella, like, I'm now literally handless. So I don't do a lot of that. I've seen like there are very cute parasols and like people who crochet them and stuff. I think they're cool, but I have a hard time with them. How about you?
Same here. No, same here. I mean, they're useful, and if there is like an umbrella or canopy or something over a seating area outdoors, great, let's use that. But I don't usually bring my own because I will either forget it somewhere or get very annoyed by having to carry it while also being hot.
Exactly. Yeah. And so what I will also say is like, so the fan that I have, the little fan, his stand works in such a way that I will often like hook it into my shirt and my bra, and then he will sit right here in front of my face and blow into my face, but I don't have to hold him. So I walked around like the Scotland Museum just with a fan shoved in my bra, and I don't give a fuck. Look at me crazy. Have fun.
Right. Yeah, it allows you to enjoy the museum, so why not?
Yeah, you're hot and I'm not.
The air, though, right in the face, that would get on my nerves sensory-wise. I'd have to find somewhere else that is still effective. I could probably handle neck if it's a steady stream of air, but face, oh no.
That's very fair. I'm really glad that I can tolerate a decent amount of air directly in my face, because like it was also how I got through like when I used to do more camping. Was I got like
Oh,
it was like D batteries. It would take like 6 D batteries, and it was this little like camp fan. It broke in my car accident, but
oh,
just that at my face, and I could sleep inside the tent through the whole night. And I was like, okay, that's all. Because I mean, I was talking to you, so a couple nights ago, my whole neighborhood lost power. Like
it's
the
wild.
whole,
Yeah.
I think when I saw Duke Energy said it was like 4,000, over 4,000 people affected.
Wow.
Um, and it happened at like 9:45. Like we were about to go to bed, and all the power goes out, and I was like, "Fuck, how am I gonna sleep?" And so it was little fan and me, little
Oh,
fan sitting right this close to my face, trying to make sure. And so I find it to be the most effective to blow directly onto my face to actually get me cooled down. But yeah, if that's a sensory nightmare for you, I would definitely think like the back of the neck, really your feet, if you're sitting down and like can consistently do that. If you could point it like at your chest or like something like that, would probably even do more than nothing.
and a fan being there would be more helpful than no fan being there for sure.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Gosh. You're saying camping. Any tips for camping? That is not something I've done a ton like in a tent, so I don't think I have any good ideas for folks, but
They make ceiling fans for tents, so it's like a clip on
oh,
and then it like rotates like this. I don't know how efficacious they are. I haven't tried. I liked my like little more intense. And they make like pretty big, you'll get a kick out of this. My friend carries one around. It's attached to a big fucking like battery block. Like it's intense.
oh,
And it's this like kind of industrial kind of fan. Like think like what they might use in like a car garage to keep everybody.
wow.
We called him Blow Daddy.
That's so funny.
And we'd carry him around, and then we'd take turns having access to Blow Daddy to keep us cool. So you know, a lot of like battery powered fans. If you're bringing a generator, just make sure that you have like hookups and things. um and then you know, the clack fans aren't worthless, like they're not useless. I would actually probably do a parasol if I were like camping, just to have more access. And also like making sure to put your tent in the shade can be really
Yeah.
helpful, especially like depending on what kind of like person you are. So like during the day, being inside the tent is pretty unbearable. Like it's just too hot to be in there, even with like the flaps open and whatever. I find it to be pretty unbearable. And so I am a morning person, and so usually just like I will wake up once it gets too hot, and I will just leave the tent, and like that's my like I'm done for the day. I also made sure, so my very first time camping, I borrowed a tent from a friend, and she was tiny. And so the tent was like a really small kind of one person like
Oh
short little
no.
thing. And so I would like dive into it and like trying, and at that time too, like I was like wearing tights and all this stuff because I was, you know, trying to look cute and like all this stuff. And it,
That had to
not
have
vibes.
trapped all the
Oh
heat
my god.
right in that. Yeah. Oh
It
my
was so
gosh.
bad trying to like get changed in there and all these layers and shit. Bad. And so when I went and got my own tent, I made sure to get like a 6-foot tent. I'm 5'7", so just a tent I could stand fully up in. I can move around, like that kind of stuff. Um, my guess is, I haven't tried it, but my guess is that a cot
Oh,
would
to keep
allow
you off the
air to
ground.
circulate a little bit better. I am a person who cannot sleep unless a blanket is on top of me. Like I can't sleep unless I have like a blanket like this, like clutched. And
Oh,
so I will usually stick both of my legs out of it, but still have it laying on my body in a way that my body is getting whatever sensation it needs to from having that. Does that make sense?
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then just bring like the like thinnest, like sometimes I'll just bring like a sheet from a bed, like not fitted, but the like regular sheet,
Top sheet, yeah.
the top sheet,
Those
all
are
that kind
usually
of
pretty
stuff.
thin, depending on the fabric. Well, if anybody listening has ideas and wants to swap them with each other, you know,
Yeah.
camping's not my strong suit, but those are some great ideas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Those are, camping is fun. I think a big part of it is just making sure to set your expectations reasonably, right? So
Yeah.
don't expect yourself to be out outside of the treed area make sure that you're not going with people who are going to expect you to like be running around in the sun, okay, unless there's also like, is there a swimming hole? Because that's really my favorite thing about summer is I'm going to be at the pool every day. Where is Brie? She's at the pool. Where's Sabrina? She's at the pool. What do you mean? Why is she at the pool? She's been at the pool all day. Because she's a mermaid.
Right. She'll be at the pool all day and into the night if you'll let her.
Exactly. It hit 90 here the other day. Actually the day that the power went out. And I would have been in the pool if they would open it.
Oh, gosh. Swimming's a great idea, staying near bodies of water, because that'll also keep the cool air coming and moving. Tents with the little window flaps help too, because you can almost get a cross breeze if there's air. If there's not, that sucks.
Yeah. Someone one time, they brought a 10 by 20 and then they brought like some generators and then they brought a bunch of box fans and they hung the box fans from the like roof of the 10 by 20. And so it just created this like air tunnel. Oh my God, it was so good. So if you're going camping with people, like if you're going to like kind of big camping events or festivals or things like that, where it is a little bit more like there's people, there's stuff, hook up with the other bitches who get too hot.
Yeah. Befriend an engineer and see what they can do.
I really like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that we should have for every episode just like, who are you going to befriend to solve this problem? Befriend an engineer. Yeah.
Well, and I like that too, because everybody's so focused on how do I handle this independently? How do I be an adult and manage it myself? And
don't handle it independently. Handle it with people, with friends. Everyone's hot. Also, bitch about how hot it is. It helps. It's like grunting for tennis players. It genuinely helps. Bitch about how hot it is. The day star cometh, and he is not your friend.
The complaining can make it easier.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to head over to Patreon and we're going to record some more about our favorite summertime activities and just talk about summer in general in relation to being autistic and ADHD. Before we do that, though, I don't want to forget to mention it. We're about a week away from our live training for therapists, Wednesday, June 17th from 12 to 1:30 p.m. Pacific time on Zoom. Sabrina and I are going to talk kink, trust, and pixie dust, so good primer on healing for the inner child. We'll be sure to link it in the show notes, and that way you can sign up over at Curious Cryptid Learning. But yeah, other than that, you can expect new episodes weekly on Tuesdays. You can find me over at Cryptid Learns and Sabrina at Radical Insights Consulting on Facebook or Instagram, or you can add a .com at the end of either of those for our websites. Follow the podcast on Facebook or Instagram at Aces Up Your Sleeve Pod. That way you can interact with us and see when new episodes release. If you've got questions for us, which we would love to answer, you can visit neurokink.org/AUYS and send it our way. And yeah, we're going to jump over to Patreon. We're going to record Upping the Ante, which is our exclusive bonus content. Patreon.com/Aces Up Your Sleeve Podcast. You can also listen to it wherever you stream podcasts once you join our Patreon.
Woo! And this is Lil Fan.
Oh no,
I just realized video?
It's not even video. Oh, well, we brought Lil Fan.
That's so fucking funny.
Dang it.
I like held it up to the camera and everything. That's really, really funny. No, you will have to go and look at the. We can take that little clip of it. We can take that little clip and just insert it at the very end of the video podcast.